Good day guys, today we'll be doing rules for differentiation. So the rules we need to be able to differentiate all the derivatives we come across in grade 12. So here are the rules here. The first one is what I'll say the most important rule. It's a general rule. It means that the derivative of x to the n is equals to n times that x to the power n minus 1, but provided n is not 0 and n is an element of a real number. The second one is that the derivative of a constant, so the derivative of a million will always be 0, irrespective of how big the constant is. As long as the constant number, its derivative is 0. And then this one states that the derivative of a constant multiplied by a function is equal to the constant times the derivative. Then this one is the derivative of a sum is equals to the sum of the individual derivatives. And then the last one says the derivative of a difference is equal to the difference of the derivatives. So for me personally, I would say the most important rule you have to know and memorize is the first two ones, because this is the general rule. For you to differentiate, you have to apply this one. There's no other way. And then also this one, that the derivative of a constant is 0. These three rules are there so that it can be easier for you to multiply things up until you reach a stage where you can apply the first two rules. So without wasting any more time, let's do some questions. So the first question is find the derivative of this. So it will be, applying the first rule, it will be 5 times the 3 all into x to the power 5 minus 1. So this will give you 15x to the 4. You have applied the first rule. So let's come to this one. This one, the same thing. The first rule says is 3 times 1 over 3, which is 1. So here you'll have 3 times 1 over 3, x to the power 3 minus 1, minus here you'll have 2 times x to the 2 minus 1, and then plus this one is what? Is a constant. So derivative of a constant is 0. So plus 0. So you'll be left with x to the 2 minus 2x. That will be the derivative of that one. And then let's come to this one, c. As you can see, this one, there are no variables anywhere, so we cannot differentiate with respect to anything. So by this one, just by inspection, you should see that the answer you get here, even after expanding, will be a constant, and a derivative of a constant is 0. So this one you can answer it by inspection. So let's do some more example. Here are 2 more questions. So looking at this one, the derivative of p of x, we can find it in 2 ways here. We can simply, firstly, multiply the 200 throughout the bracket, and then we apply the general rule. Or we can apply these rules where we take the 200 aside, and then we find the derivative of these individuals term, and then after we multiply it with the 200. So it's up to you which method you use there, but I prefer the one where you multiply everything out and then you find the derivative. It's less confusing and easier for me. So let's answer this one. So it's still p of x. So it will be 200 x to the 3 minus 100 x squared plus 40 x minus 8,000. That's what you'll get after multiplying throughout with the 200. And then from here on, I can apply the general rule. So the derivative of p of x will be 3 times 200 is 600. And then 3 minus 1 is what? Is squared. 2 times 100 is what? Is 200. And then 2 minus 1 is 1. And then here, 1 times 40, you'll still get the 40. And then 1 minus 1 will be what? 0. And any number to the power 0 is 1. So you'll only have 40 there. So this will be your final answer. And then here's another question. Let's do this one. This one I'll say also firstly multiply throughout to make it less confusing for you. So it's going to be x squared plus 2x plus 5x. And then its derivative, you apply the general rule. 2 times 1 is 2x, 2 minus 1 is 1, plus this one, the same thing. 1 times 2 will give you 2. That 1 minus 1 will give you 0. Any number to the power 0 is 1, so you still have your 2 there. Plus, here also, the very same thing applies. 1 times 5 will give you the 5, and then 1 minus 1 will give you 0, so it's 1. So the derivative here is 2x plus 7. So yes guys, that's where I'll leave it today. So if you appreciate the content, please remember to comment, like, subscribe and share. Thank you.